Kathleen, did you park at the garage?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Okay, cause you said that voter parking, are they voting now?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
it was really.
There's buses behind the Jefferson, is there?
I saw that
is there something
earlier, too.
around or something tonight, it's a lot of people walking on.
Yeah, it said it was voter right here in the front, voter. So I was parked in the front, but I just went and moved right up the street. It was parking, but yeah. I don't know you look so late. Hey Earl, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Hi there.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. No, I just wasn't, for some reason I thought it was something besides.
Hey, do you need to know if there's a form or something?
No, it's fine. No, just saying, it's showing the rate for it.
Yeah. I agree. I think I should just bring.
Yeah. I don't know, it's sometimes, when it's something like that, it's like, it's not close. Charlottesville Airport is surprised you.
Yeah.
It's like last, it was in June, when this was working in Palm Beach. So, just for that,
Oh, yeah.
like I work my, it's really, anything on my days off. It was, like,
Hello?
there was an alleyway over.
Oh. If you're good with that presentation for the meeting.
Oh, I'll take a look at it and see.
I just kept it pretty much the same so that people just,
We
when
had
they're
been
talking.
interviews for the internship program, so.
How many people applied?
We had nine.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're happy with that. We still have some, a little bit more to that.
I'd love that, that'd be really active.
Hello?
Pretty good, I know, I feel like when, you
No.
want me to sign?
Sure, you're not the only one.
Okay.
Earl's the only one that's been to my office.
Oh, okay, well,
And,
that makes me feel less,
oh no, Bridget, she
like a delinquent.
No, no. I'm gonna
Thank you.
I don't know.
Yes.
Policy.
Yes.
That's not many anymore.
Thank you.
How are you?
All right.
Yeah. I know I was supposed to text you and I didn't, but do you think you could come to my class maybe on October 2nd?
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
text you and you can look at your schedule.
Yeah.
I've got, at 3:30, I've got 35 students who were learning about public housing.
All right.
And I just told them about the redevelopment and the LP collective and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's only a 7-week class, so they're all like 18, so they don't know that much.
Okay.
And I was like, who better to learn from than from a resident? So
Okay, no problem.
I'm gonna text you tonight, and then you can let me know if that time works for you.
Okay.
But we will compensate you for your time, and I'm gonna have snacks there for everyone, and I will help them write good questions.
Okay, okay,
So,
all right.
but they're really sweet. They're really sweet.
All right.
They're good kids.
How are you doing, son?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Sam.
I need to sign something. I'm so sorry.
No,
You know, I was on a call and I was driving around last night.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm not where I'm supposed to be, so then I just gave up. But sometimes I go to HCAC, so sometimes it's fine, and I'm right there. These are my favorite pens. If you weren't here, I just do.
I do.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
I keep like looking for my name.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh,
I'm not
oh, wait.
a
Yeah.
member of city council.
How are you, Lise?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
So nice.
It's cold in here.
I think with the AC, I think the
I was ready for that.
Yeah, I'm like, I got my sweater on, but maybe I could have tried a little harder.
Well, I actually made it, but Glenn Matthews. What? I kept both. Glenn Matthews.
Miss Kathleen Glenn,
I would get that too. Either one will get to me.
or Mrs. Paul,
I'm not,
your husband, or
no, I just have to
you
write
just say
it Kathleen.
Miss Kathleen Glenn.
If you said that to the housing authority, I'll get it.
I guess so I can use your maiden name.
Yeah, that's fine. Tell them what it is.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I got. Is, well, I brought a jacket in case.
Yeah, I can do it.
Lovely.
So it's a little cold maybe.
Date, 9 years old.
I wonder if all these parking spots were for early voting.
Which one beside?
Yeah.
They were. You park over there, didn't you?
Yeah, everything was full by then.
Oh, okay.
I did.
I would never sit around.
Bye. Our fearless leader.
So, I'll tell y'all a funny thing. So my sister was at the Senate doing, I don't know, something last week. She's a lawyer. But she said, you know, only the speaker is allowed to use the gavel. I was like, oh, well, I use this
Well,
gavel
I use it all the time. so.
shamelessly.
Amazing.
So, anyway. Okay. So I think Javier's supposed to be coming, but since I've already made a slate, do you want to call us to do a roll call to call us to order, please?
Commissioner O'Rourke,
Here.
Commissioner Goldblum.
Rosenbluth.
I'm sorry, Lord. Rosenbluth.
Here.
She's gonna give you a whole new name tonight. Get ready.
Commissioner Hicks,
Here.
Commissioner Clavell,
Here.
Commissioner Payne.
Here.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we will now have a moment of silence. Okay, general announcements, meeting dates and reminders. Our next board work session is October 9th at 6 p.m. And our next regular meeting is October 27th at 6 p.m. The redevelopment committee meets every first Thursday of the month at 3 o'clock. Safety committee, it looks like we have 3 on-site meetings coming up. So September 24th from 1 to 2 at Madison, October 1st at Mickey, and October 2nd at Riverside. Sorry, all of those are from 12 to 1. And then Resident Services Committee every second Tuesday of the month. The next one will be October 14th at 1.
And if you're interested in the Resident Service Committee, just send me an email, please, and I can send you the Zoom link for the meeting.
Okay. And for those safety committee meetings, will there be Zooms for those, or they're just in person?
So, I believe they're just in person, because these are gonna be the site-based ones.
Okay.
We had, maybe a couple months ago, at one of the meetings, we had some residents, ask for us to do on-site specific meetings.
Okay.
Because oftentimes, when we have the group meetings, sometimes the folks
It's
who may
tricky.
be causing the problems are the ones that are there.
Yep.
And so, you have folks that are hesitant to speak up. And so we're looking just to get more folks involved and engaged with us. And so we'll be doing it at every site. These are just the 3 sites that have dates so far.
Okay. Yep. Gonna try. I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, I can't do the Wednesdays, but I'm gonna try for the Thursday.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Wednesdays in person are a challenge for me because I'm in a different city. But okay. Any public comments or FAR?
Good evening. My name is Annette Wilcox. Should I sign my name? Wait a minute. Should I sign my name and address?
That's okay. We know you, Miss Wilcox.
Yes, and I miss going to Rose's to buy clothes and going to Reed's Market, and I like the food line market to go grocery shopping, and you know, for the past 2 years I've had issues with my apartment manager not letting me write check. They made me do a money order for the past 2 years as a Piedmont housing, and I said I'm going to I have an appointment with my current apartment manager and ask her where I should try to live near Sojourner Church of Christ, where it's cheap and where the manager will let me write checks. And I don't think that is fair. That's got to stop. If I have any, where can I go to the house? Charlottesville, Crescent Halls, and where can I go to turn the notes?
So,
Just give it to my manager?
Ms. Wilcox, if you have HCB questions, if you can go to the HCB office right here on 5th Street. I'll get with you after the meeting and I'll show you. We can walk together. I'll show you where the office is.
Yeah. Okay. And check it. I've been to Crescent Hall for over the years.
Yeah, that HCB office is no longer in Crescent Halls. It's over here off the downtown mall. I will show you when we leave the meeting, okay?
See, I've been there at
110 5th Street?
110 5th Street.
Yep.
I've been there.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you would go.
People.
Thank you. Ms. Giles?
I can't do it right this year. I'm sorry. I'm busy.
Okay. We'll get with you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Latricia Giles, and I'm the Executive Director of FAR. And I just wanted to give a few updates. We are currently recruiting for our next cohort for our internship program. That'll be beginning the week of October the 21st. So we have had a great start in our interviewing. I feel like we've had some great candidates, but we are still actively recruiting for a few more. So if you can chat with any residents that you know, or if they're hearing this, please feel free to send an email to stacy@farcville.org. She is the internship coordinator and will be able to send out an application. And if you can't get it via online, one of our community organizers can actually take an application to any resident who is in need of one.
Is she Stacy with a Y or an EY?
Stacey. Stacy.
EY, okay.
I had the same question.
Wait, look at it. I'm losing my mind today. Stacy. I am so sorry.
See, we threw you off.
Yeah.
Yes, because I was like, wait a minute, Stacy with an EY? No. But no, it is Stacy@farcville.org. The next thing I wanted to give an update for residents on is our Community Power Lab, which will be this Thursday, and we are doing a collaboration with CATLA. So that is going to be at 6 p.m., but our Community Power Lab is a design space for residents to come and do resident-led activities as far as what's going on. So they have times where they'll be breaking into specific steering committees on specific things. So people have concerns around youth, safety, maintenance, whatever those causes are. I know that out of that, actually, our first couple of meetings, we had a resident who was concerned around just creating a parental support group for single parents or just parents in general. And from that, we were able to support the resident. We worked with them on door knocking and flyering about the parental support group, and then we hosted a space where they were able to have that for the residents. So that is some of the things that are happening out of the Community Power Lab. And so it's for residents only. We would love anyone else to join, but we really want it to be a place where residents' voices really are centered and things are coming from them. So that is a space, like I said, this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. Once again, if you have a resident that you think would be interested in just learning a little bit more about organizing and advocacy from a perspective of, I might not have time to commit to our internship program, but I can commit an hour or two each week or each month to come into this space. So that is a great space for anybody who's a resident to join us. And then we just wanted to continue to say, I know that we've been working really well on the West Main. So I just wanted to continue to say thank you to our resident planners that I know Brandon has been working hard to help them, get them to the spaces that we've been needing. We've been able to really continue pressure on this project because of residents' help, of course, and just making sure that they are there and that we are also galvanizing other communities around this topic. So we have been making coalitions and building a space with 10th and Page, and also working with Fifeville, who is also coming against some buildings on their side. So we are just grateful to Brandon's hard work on that area, but helping us to also just galvanize the greater community. So I think that was all that I had so far, but I appreciate y'all listening.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Do any other commissioners have any updates?
No.
I just have a couple. One, we will be doing Prolific and City of Promise will be working together to do the Halloween Spectacular again at Jenkins Park with our friends at West Haven. So that'll be on October 25th from 1 to 3. And we've started our costume drive, which few things have brought me as much joy as giving away costumes and how excited the children were. And then also another Prolific update, we do have food pantries and sexy pantries at some of the neighborhoods. We have some friends who are helping us work on grants to try to help us fund more of those. So more to come from that, but just wanted to give those updates. All right. Next up, approval of the board minutes from August 25th. Get a motion to approve.
I think I saw my name wrong at one point, but I just wanted, yeah, which is fine. But could we amend it just to say Commissioner Rosenbluth at the end instead of Goldbluth is on the last page?
She's trying to make you and Laura
into one person. We basically are, so that's fine. I like what a high compliment, you know? No, you're good. I mean, that is like the highest compliment, but yeah, just I saw that as I was reviewing it earlier and was like, oh, who's that? Me.
So that's correct.
It's you and Laura's love child.
Yeah, literally. I can't wait to tell her.
So with that one
Yes.
correction, I think we got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. You got that?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Javier's here, by the way. There he is. Boldly approving those minutes. All right. Okay, moving ahead, housing director update.
Good evening to the board and everyone else that is present. Just a few things for tonight. So one correction to the safety meeting schedule. All sites are scheduled currently for safety meetings to include West Haven, South First Street, and Crescent Halls. We can send out the mass notice that went out to every single household, just so you'll have those dates additionally. The only difference is we put the sites with indoor facilities at the end just in case the weather doesn't permit, but our goal is to be outside more integrated into the community when we do these particular meetings. So if it's too cold, when we get to West Haven, South First Street, and Crescent Halls, we will be inside, but our goal is to keep it outdoors.
Thank you. If you could send those out so we can try to be at them when we can, that'd be great.
Yes, absolutely. I'll get it to Maria and see if she can get those out.
Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so next thing is on our property management report, we were asked to highlight the accounts receivable from evictions that have occurred. And on your report, I believe it said 49,000. The actual number is $66,726.50. And so that's eviction balance with accounts receivable.
You said 66?
Yes, 66,726 and 50 cents.
Okay,
And
thank
so
you.
those are the accounts for families that have already been evicted from the public housing program. We'll do an account write-off, balance write-off towards the end of the year, which will take those balances currently on our books, off our books. We'll still try to collect them. We now have some other means tax means to get those funds collected. And so we should be more successful than we have in the past. But typically, we get rid of those accounts after they've sat on the books and the folks have moved out because we're less likely to collect them.
Yeah, how long do we keep them?
In the past, we've kept them on the books for years. We have been doing a write-off at the end of the year since I've been
Okay.
here.
I mean, is that, wow,
We've been more consistent with that.
we don't have to get too far into it, but what is, I don't know what that saying is, like squeezing blood from a turnip or something like that. Like, it seems like it would be fruitless, like,
Yeah,
how successful are you at getting anything back?
we can't completely wipe them because there's some regulations with folks being able to enter the program if they owe debt to the housing authority.
Gotcha.
But I do think we'll be more successful with the tax collection because with those, the tax entity collects them and then sends us the funds directly.
Oh, so it
once
like takes
folks-
it out of their tax refund so they can't. Okay.
Immediately, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, and then additionally, in that same vein, we were asked to highlight just for the month of September with upcoming first returns and trials. We still have an outstanding $33,884 dollars that hopefully will be collected and we can maintain, but this is what's actually currently active in the court system.
Okay.
That's kind of looming for the next month or so. As we know, we've been getting a lot of delays, a lot of continuances. Some of that is to accommodate our families who may be trying to seek assistance, maybe working with our resident services program. And so in trying to accommodate that, a lot of court dates, we're continuing to push them out to try to accommodate that, but that's the amount that's currently kind of just sitting there right now. I believe that's it. We also are continuing to have activities on the properties. Mickey and Madison had an ice cream social a couple weeks ago. South First Street will be having an ice cream social coming up at the end of this month. Sorry, I don't have the exact date because we literally just sent out the flyer today, but I can get that out. And I think that's it for now. Are there any questions?
I don't think so. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
HCD update?
Hey, I'm just gonna flag the comment that we had about the eviction balance. What has already been evicted, the dollar amount plus what's remaining that we currently have in court represents about 40% of what the total owed for public housing accounts represent. So it's a significant, they're really significant accounts that have been processed and that we are processing.
Yep.
For the HCV report, I will be giving that update. We really don't have much change on here. I will give an update on the shortfall situation though. We met with HUD last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was determined that we are going to run into a shortfall for the HCV program. It's about $125,000 this year. Last year it was like 1.8 million. We are in a shortfall because rents are higher this year than they were last year, while we're assisting less families than we did. We're assisting less families this year than we did last year.
I mean, we
So-
expected this, yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at the numbers, it's going in the opposite direction. And it's like that across the entire country, and it will continue to be like that. Last year was just the regular HCV program. This year is mainstream, the VASH program, which is for veterans, and the HCV program. And so we are working with HUD to address that. They have not hinted towards removing anyone from the program. We've applied for additional funding, which is what we did last year, and they awarded us additional funding. We have a meeting with them on the 25th. think it's the 25th this week, to discuss the shortfall, to talk about what measures are going to be put in place to help alleviate that shortfall. I will say that there are some housing authorities that owe us significant funds, over $100,000, and so we'll be working to collect those. If we collect those, that will remove us from shortfall in the HCV program, the regular program, but not in VASH or mainstream. And so we'll still have some work to do there. We're not pulling from the wait list at all. We're only assisting through special programs. So the Fostering Youth Initiative is one that we're continuing to lease up for, but not the other programs. We are also doing some stopgap measures for rent increases. We have seen some increases that have ranged from $100 a month to $400 a month in requests for rent increases. And so we've tried to limit those as much as possible while trying to keep the unit an assisted unit. So it has not been easy, but those are some of the things we're doing to try to keep that number low. We do have the payment standard request will be coming in front of you guys in either at the end of next month or in November. Right now, we are estimating that that number will actually fall for some bedroom sizes. We do not expect any increases. We can't afford any increases. And the utility allowance should stay relatively close to being the same, but we may have some increases there. But we'll know more direction-wise on where we go with the voucher program after the meeting with HUD on the 25th. SISREP is still strong at 70 families. We have a meeting with the city to talk about revamping that program to make it so it's more inclusive of city departments to refer to that program. Currently, there's only a few departments that are listed that can refer, but we have almost every department that's dealing with homelessness referring families to that program, but we don't have it on paper. And so you guys heard about that the first time at the joint meeting, and so we're still working to get that figured out. The plan is to have something back in front of City Council, I believe in November. And so the city is going to be convening a working group to work through SISREP over the next couple of months to identify some small changes that can be made, such as making, like right now we do everything on an Excel document. We are going to be looking to move that into Yardi, which is the system we use for every other program. So we can easily generate reports, send documents to residents to fill out, plus process research and everything through phone and everything. So we'll be moving in that direction, but we'll need, and I think January we'll get approval from council and funding for it. I don't think I have anything else. No, I will add though, we are, one thing that's scary about the shortfall is we've anticipated using project-based vouchers at South First Street Phase 2 and 6th Street Phase 1. Us being in a shortfall could impact that, and so our goal is to get out of the shortfall and stay out of it. We will be pushing these other housing authorities to pay us because that will exit us out of shortfall. If we don't get out of shortfall, we will have to figure out some other things next year. We're going to get out of shortfall. We're going to get out of shortfall. But that's all I have for HCV, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Are you at all concerned that other housing authorities are not going to be able to make the payments given the fact that they're probably facing some of the same struggles that you are?
Yeah, so we had that question with our HUD rep. So HUD now has one rep for the entire state of Virginia.
Oh.
So
gosh.
it's a
Great.
good
Okay.
thing and a bad thing. So that one person controls all the housing authorities' money.
Okay.
And so when we told her the housing authorities that owed us money, the majority of them are in her control.
Okay.
And so we sent her the notices that she requested. And so she will take their money,
Right.
or they will give us
Okay.
our money. is what she told me.
Great.
So they have control to process shortfall applications for housing authorities, like if they owe housing authorities. And so that's what she said she would do if they're not responsive.
Okay.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're up again, John.
Yes, and so I'm gonna split mine with Kathleen. I don't have too much. I just wanna talk, we wanted to get some information on the nonprofit. I know it was discussed at the last meeting, but we need to kind of sort of get a date on when the board would like to go in front of city council to request a nonprofit. Of course, it has to be approved by city council.
So I thought Michael was working
I think
on
it's
it.
Oh, yes.
Javier and I were working, or supposed to
Well, I
work
thought
on that.
Michael was
Okay.
gonna help us with getting a date, and
Oh,
else I
yeah.
made that up. That's possible. I make things up sometimes.
You just unmuted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would just say on city council's end, I think whenever you want to request, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Okay. All right, so
So then do Javier and I need to meet with, forgive me, I'm forgetting the attorney's name.
Delphine Carnes.
Delphine, yeah. Do the three of us need to meet to like come up with a game plan? I was kind of hoping to talk about it at the last working meeting, which we didn't end up having. But I just wanted to get clarity on exactly what the process would be.
Looks like Delphine is.
So Delphine, I don't know if the board can hear me. Can you
Yes,
guys?
yeah. Mhm.
So we're pretty much ready from your side of it.
Okay.
It already approved the creation of the entity, so I'm happy to have a quick call so we can talk about how to present this to City Council. I don't know if you typically have a short written cover memo or summary of what is being proposed, or if you just meet with members of City Council ahead of time, or if you do a presentation at the City Council meeting, or a combination of the above. But either way, we have some of the materials ready from when this first came in front of the Board of Commissioners for approval. What we are missing right now to create the entity is really the blessing of City Council, because we need their approval under the state code in order for you to create the entity legally, and then you will need to pick a name for the entity.
Okay, so then, Michael, do you have clarity on which one of those things we should do, or does anyone else have clarity on that?
So they always do a report of
Uh-huh.
like a staff report that goes with the presentation, and then there's also typically a presentation that goes along as well. I believe it's due to Keena 2 weeks before it goes, like before the meeting, I believe, because it has to be, there's an ADA compliance check that's completed and a few other things that's done on all the documents before they're uploaded.
Okay. So then maybe Javier, you and I can touch base on like a good time to connect with the necessary folks.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We can do that, what did they say, offline?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
All right, perfect. The other thing I wanted to just put in front of the commissioners, there are going to be some changes to all our programs as the administration is implementing new policies and requirements. One of the changes that we've already heard is around the designation of English as the language, as our language, and so that is not going to allow us to use federal funds. And right now, we're trying to figure out if we can use program income funds from those federal programs to cover the language access services that we're providing. And so there are going to be changes like that that are going to come down, and we're going to have to be able to adjust. We know that it's a service that we need. We have 9 different spoken languages out on our site, and so we have to be able to engage with our folks. And so we know we have to find the money to continue doing the work. We're going to need this nonprofit and you guys advocating for those services. The city paying it, state, other organizations assisting with it, because we went years without it, and we finally got it last year, and we've seen the benefit of it, the amount of folks that are engaging with us, at these meetings. I mean, the West Haven Planners Meeting, we have a really good representation of our community at those meetings. In that language access piece, without that, that meeting looks totally different. And so it's important that we rally around those items, because this is just one. There are going to be many changes that come down the pipeline that we're going to have to fight for. Another announcement that I have, speaking of federal government, good things and bad things. So this is a high. We did get an announcement on Friday about receiving the emergency safety grant, emergency safety and security grant. And so we had put in for that grant to install fences around backyards, play areas, cameras, and lights at Mickey, Madison, and Riverside. It was not enough money to get all those things done, and so I think the primary focus will be on lighting and fences at those communities. The cameras alone would eat up that entire allocation. They awarded us about $250,000. And I wanted to save some time to talk about our referrals. I know a couple meetings ago I told you that our eviction diversion program, we're slowly starting to rev those up. And that I told you the referrals, you should see they will drastically increase. They should triple or quadruple. And so Kathleen's going to give you an update on where we are with the eviction diversion, just on referrals and what we're seeing there. Kathleen is our Deputy Executive Director.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Kathleen.
I'm not going to go on for too long, but I just wanted to kind of have a simple graphic. Just to talk about kind of the impact the program has also had on staff. Since we started the program, we've had 128 referrals from property management to the resident services team. I broke out the properties and the number of referrals we've gotten from each property. In yellow there is Crescent Halls, that's had 25 referrals. We also, West Haven has had the most, 59 referrals, so that's one resident service staff person who's been greatly impacted by this. And then the others in blue are one other staff person who's also got a significant number. We've had some that have also gone over to our self-sufficiency programs, and I've listed those here, with Ross having the highest number. It's been a really rewarding program in many ways, as we've had staff that have managed to be able to intervene with some individuals before they actually were evicted. But it's also been a tremendous capacity strain. So we're, we know there's probably, let me see, at least, what would you say, 20 more people that could easily get added to this?
For which?
Just the total.
Oh, no, we're off by, I
Sure.
would say easily. So the easiest way to tell how far off we are is the number of non-payment notices sent. So just non-payment notices sent for the month of September, we were at 138.
And do those have to be, like, each one has to be, like, individually created, right?
Correct.
You can't just, like, bulk send them.
Yeah, we're creating each one individually.
Okay.
And so West Haven alone had 62, Crescent Halls 38, South First Street 17. And so that's only looking at the non-payment. You're not talking to folks who maybe missed their recertification, that maybe had a physical dispute or verbal dispute on the site, or folks who have poor housekeeping. So there's a plethora of reasons to be referred that aren't due to non-payment of rent, but just non-payment of rent alone is 138. So there's some space, and we're including in that list Greenleaf, Dogwood, and I think that's it. That's not shown on that list right there.
Yeah, I just showed the 7.
Yeah, we're only showing the assisted units.
So we're spending a lot of time looking at this. We're also trying to be supportive of staff as they're working through this process. We found that, we have some individuals with pretty high balances, and a lot of agencies now are not willing to pay if it's over $1,000. So there's been a lot of creativity that's come into play. Mr. Sales and I met with the Haven to have a conversation about increasing partnerships, grant collaborations. I think we're going to continue looking for other partners to do this with as well. There's a lot of different reasons, as we've said at previous meetings, why individuals get behind on rent. And we're also seeing, a lot of changes coming federally that are going to further impact families. One of the programs we're going to be introducing is going to be having, working with food sharing is caring on sites several times a month. We're also looking at trying to get some of our staff trained in basic budgeting, so train the trainer opportunities. And in addition, we are looking at trying to get some of our staff in on some of the Medicaid navigator training, because we understand that.
Robert, can you mute, please? Thank you.
Okay. And then we're also, we're just trying to be mindful of all this as we're looking at, establishing a nonprofit to have conversations with our partners about what it would look like to have, programs that could involve agreements to have budgeting classes and other things in place in exchange for accessing some of the repayment funds, particularly for individuals who have already had assistance. We often see the same individuals come back within just a few months, and we know, there's an ongoing struggle that also needs to be tackled. But that's all I've got. If anyone has any questions.
In terms of the staff who kind of being over or disproportionately taxed through this, is there any way to share the load in a way that feels not an invasion of privacy to residents? Or I understand that that's probably very complicated dynamic, but just what are the potential solutions that you are navigating?
Well, some of the residents, when they're contacted, have not been willing to work with our staff.
Okay.
So there is a lot of just following up and trying to call. We're also working, I work really closely with Ms. Banks, with property management, and we're always talking about, better ways for our staff to collaborate, because just having systems in place and understanding how this process will work. We do know that, process is so important, because we all need to know what's going to happen the moment they are late, that the property manager is going to reach out. There is going to be a letter. And we're also looking at developing flyers or friendly forms that could go at that time saying that they are going to reach out to resident services. We're also trying to think about ways to have things in place that if you are not able to read, how that might look for an individual who is behind on their rent. We have been, pretty consistent with getting things translated as well. But we have 3 resident service coordinators. They all have had, significant referral amounts. The person at Crescent Halls is part-time. They're all working very closely with property management. They, our whole team with Jobs Plus, FSS, and Ross, there's also been some referrals there. I will say Ross has helped pick up quite a few challenging situations that involved housekeeping, and have come up with some really great systems for that. But housekeeping's a smaller percent of this number. The majority are tenant account receivables.
Thank you.
Right.
Perfect, thank you, Kathleen.
Thanks, Kathleen.
And one other thing I just wanted to remind you guys, or just put in front of you, that'll be coming up is the annual plan. So Kathleen has started working and pulling that together. Had a meeting today with the RAB, and so I think we're positioning for a November work session, a joint work session with the board to go over the annual plan. And so at that point, we'll do the annual plan, and hopefully we'll be in a place to do the capital fund, the 5-year plan for capital fund around the same time. The capital fund this year will look drastically different because we have so many of our big projects tied up into money that we've already received. So the last year will really be a good year. I guess we'll get to play around and figure out what residents really want. I know in the past they've said awnings and maybe a porch or something. So we'll be able to do something different than just focus on the things that are falling apart. I think that is all I have for you.
Are we gonna
guys.
need an additional session or like a retreat for that? We always call it a retreat, which brings to mind spa, but you've never taken me to a spa, so.
No, I don't think we need a retreat for it this year. This year is really, it should be really simple.
Okay,
Because we're rolling the last few years. And we did not do a new 5-year plan this year.
Okay.
This year is the second year of our old 5-year plan. So in a couple of years, we'll be deep into a new 5-year plan and a new strategic plan and everything. Yeah, God, so close. I don't want to think about it. But I think that's all I have for you tonight, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Think so. Okay, I will open it up for additional public comment. No singing tonight, Brandon?
No birthdays, right?
All right, if nobody has anything, I think that concludes our agenda for this evening. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
A second? Second. All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Worth it every time.
I don't do it every time.
No,
I
it's
know it.
amazing.
But it was, I mean, her name was like digitally on this thing, and I was like,
That's amazing. In DC? Or
in Virginia.
In Richmond.
So
Yeah.
she was, she works for Dell.
What's that?
It's the National Employment Law Project.
Okay, okay.
So it's been a special time
Yeah.
to be a nonprofit attorney focused on employment.
Good night. Nice to see you.
Yeah, so I don't know, she was presenting about that.
Amazing.
It might have been about disability benefit or unemployment benefits, I don't know. She practices speeches and stuff.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Have a good evening.